to a degree, so your reaction.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we all hate that he got hurt, but there's closure at least. If he had not played and they lost say it went exactly the same way, they win game 6, they lose a close game 7, but he doesn't play at all, he's definitely feeling like, man, should I have, if I'm out there, we probably win that series. Could we have won it? Not to mention he would have gotten criticized by a lot of media, fans, the whole 9 yards. I thought his letter or his tweet was perfect. He said he didn't regret playing. He said he understands there's a long road ahead of him, but he's up for the challenge. And he thanked the city, the fans, his teammates. Like, this was perfect. He said he's not feeling sorry for himself. And I'm going to say this, assuming, and I am making this assumption, that he comes back same player, essentially. If he does that, he will be one of the faces of the league. He'll never be, I don't think, the face, but he'll be,
Because he has now
Karl
captured
Malone
the
and Patrick.
imagination.
Yes, like first of all, he's got the game. He makes his teammates better, so his teams usually are good. He's got the swagger. He talks trash. He's clutch. And now he's got this story that everyone, except, teams that are playing against them, everyone can get behind and cheer for. So I do think he'll be that. This will end up, like he said, this will end up down the road maybe being a good thing for him.
Yeah, it'll be a chapter in his story, and I hadn't thought about it through that context, but he's probably the starting point guard of Team USA in 2028, coming off this injury over Brunson, Cade Cunningham, Ja Morant, and then he gets that stage as part of his comeback tour. So I'm with you. This will be a chapter in a story, and he captivated the nation in the basketball world. He also, while I loved the post, and it was incredibly vulnerable and honest, and I agree with you, heartbreaking, and what happened to him was a sports tragedy in Game 7, it was also the only decision a professional athlete can make in that spot.
Yes.
Every one of them would do it, which is why so many people who do our job, like, he was accused of being afraid during the NBA Finals broadcast at halftime. Some people were saying he should not have played and risked it. That's insane. Every athlete, as I understand it, would risk next season for 48 minutes at a title. And that's exactly what he did. Imagine if he sits out. The doubt that he lives with, the criticism from the media, the side eyes from his teammates. Who would have ever made that decision? And it's such an unreasonable thing to even put into the debate culture. Of course he was going to play, and then it was bad luck.
And I'll push back a tiny bit in this regard. If he were a player who this was the final year of his rookie contract.
Different.
And had not, had not signed, like he was second-round pick who blew up.
I'm saying in his spot.
Hadn't been paid.
And hadn't been
paid.
paid.
Look at Isaiah Thomas with the Lakers.
Right,
or the Celtics.
So but because he was in year one of a 5-year, $255 million deal, it removed, for selfishly as an athlete, it's a job. You need to provide for yourself and your family, and that's first and foremost. Once that's taken care of, you are part of a team, and the point you're alluding to is one I fervently believe in, which is for the Indiana Pacers, Game 7 was worth more, and Game 6 and 7 was worth more championship equity than the 2026 season. You know what I mean?
Like 2026, 27, 28 season, man.
Because you're
all
right,
of them.
Because you're
by
right
those
there.
Times, they might be in the mix.
I mean, the odds are Tyrese Haliburton never plays in the NBA Finals again.
And
those are the odds.
It's certainly it would be that
Probably
would be the
odds, but he's got a shot.
Certainly,
of course he has a shot.
But we're saying the same thing. Like, this was more, though, the chance to win by just winning one more game,
correct,
as opposed to having climbed the entire mountain. But the other, I'm going to kind of go more, I don't know, bigger picture on this to a degree.
Big brain?
Not big brain. It's kind of almost sentimental. It's the type of thing Wilds would make fun of me for. Because I brought up this quote a lot.
I'll fill that role. I got you.
But it's this Cormac McCarthy quote that I read like 4 years ago that really, for me, has helped me deal with any sadness in my life that is short of a death of a friend or a family member, which is, you never know what worse luck your bad luck saved you from. So you never know when, on a very simplistic level, if the speeding ticket you got actually prevented you from getting T-boned in a car accident. You never know. And I was thinking about that with what was pre-Achilles injury. Haliburton this postseason was known as this unfathomably clutch killer. This guy who, even when he wasn't playing well, could just, in the final minute of a game, be the calmest, most confident guy. And if he had sat out and watched his team lose and his Achilles is totally healthy, is he no longer that guy? Does that doubt in his mind? And again, I'm not saying he is or he isn't.
His own mind.
His own
not
mind.
Our perception.
Not our. I'm saying there is a part of what makes you clutch is you believe you're clutch. You know what I mean? There
the
was
willingness
a part,
to take the shot.
Right. One of the reasons Tiger never missed a 5-footer for 15 years was because he didn't miss the first one. And then after that, it was just like, I'm not going to miss it. And we talk about, oh man, he suffered a career-altering physical injury. And the point that I truly believe is, it is on the board that by not playing, he could have suffered a career-altering mental injury. Of the doubt and the question, I don't know that he would have, but like you said, you wouldn't have had closure. So this didn't play out the way anyone wanted it to, but it played out the way it almost had to if this was going to happen. And the fact that he, at least in that post, seems devastated while being at peace with the decision, I think is the best we could hope for.
And some of the greatest news is he got his money, like you said.
Yes.
If he had not been paid, now Durant got paid after, but he's not Kevin Durant.
No.
So
and I do think the math would fairly be different if he had $3 million in career earnings with nothing guaranteed coming up.
Yeah, I'm saying anyone in his spot, as the most clutch guy, as the point guard, as the leader, with the contract, with everything, anyone in his spot would have made the decision that he made.
All right, coming up next, do some titles deserve the dreaded asterisk?
What?
Oh my.
Next on First Things First.
What makes a carnival vacation fun? It's a little bit of everything